Welcome to this GDevelop 5 game development video. Let us continue with our game. So today we are going to fix some bugs in the game, and one of them is that open stage 1. One of them is that the game over text gets created every frame, and so that makes the you know the, that makes the game lag, right? So here I will have to, I believe, create some variables, and one of them will be to, you know, take note of whether the game over text has been displayed or not, right? So yeah, so let us do that, and yeah, we have a variable called has died. If she has died, then right now he has not died, so health has died is 0. But when health will be less than equal to 0 and has died will be 0, we will set has died to 1, right? And now we can check that when Ninja Girl animation is finished, Ninja Girl dying animation is finished, and along with it, if has died is 1, then we will create this and then set has died to 2, right? So let's do that, and let's see if it works. Value of a global variable has died equal to 1, and then put the action here, variables has died equal to 2, right? So there it is. I think this should fix the bug of creating game over text again and again, right? So that should fix that. And now let us check it if it actually fixes it. Well, I'm doing very good, but I want to check the game over bug. So yeah, it looks like it's getting created only once, right? So that's good, it's working. And then now what we have to do is that we have to unlock stage 2. So just open stage 2. This stage has not been unlocked yet, and because we have these variables, and stage 2 unlocked is 0 by default. So at some point stage 2 will be unlocked, and that point will occur in stage 1. So in stage 1, if you have collected more than 100 points, you will be shown a message that you have unlocked a new stage. So let's do that now. For to do that, I think we will need to set a variable, uh, which is the number of points which you need to advance to next stage, and that variable will be set in the scene. Add, call it points required for next stage, and we will put it 100 right now because we want to test it. Points required to uh, to unlock next stage. And if the wait, what am I updating when the ghost is being destroyed? Points and coins. So we are incrementing points and coins, and along with that, and these are global variables, right? And change the global variables, points and coins. Uh, in spite of, I mean, I think instead of doing this, I think we should change the local variables. Yeah. So we have some local variables, points and coins in stage 1 and also in stage 2, scene points and scene coins. I think we should change those, and we should bind those to the text, text of point text and point text. So let's first bind it, change this, wait, just open this and remove this and go here, and variables text of a, no, not global variable, text of a scene variable, and that is scene points. Apply, OK, and here this should be scene coins. Apply, and update the scene variable instead of global variables when we are killing the ghost. So yeah, value of a scene variable and scene coins. OK, and then double click here to value of a scene variable, scene points. So these two have been updated. So now our global variable points and coins will not be updated, but our local variable points and coins will be updated. So let's check it just a little. Yeah, it's working. So yeah, I know we initially have 10 coins, so let's make it to 0 to keep it consistent, right? So just to keep it consistent, you can have 10 points here, and you can initialize this variable scene coins with 10 points as well, but that's up to you if you want to do it. So now, if the variable scene points if is greater than number of points required to unlock next stage, then we will show some message to the player. So where should we do that checking? Come to the bottom and add a condition. Value of a scene variable, and that scene variable is points required for next stage is greater than or equal to global variable. No, not this. Wait. Scene variable should be scene points greater than equal to scene variable, value of a scene variable, points required for next stage. So if the points which we have collected, that is scene points, is greater than equal to the points required for next stage, then something should happen, right? And it should only happen if stage 2 has not been unlocked yet, right? Because if it has been unlocked, then we don't need to make it happen again. So just go here and check the value of a global variable, and that is stage 2 unlock. Is it equal to 0? If it is equal to 0, then we will show the message to the player that yes, you have unlocked the new stage. And if he has already unlocked the stage, then there is no need to show that message, right? So, and now we have to show some message by pausing the scene. When we will pause the scene, we will have to jump to some other scene, because that is a compulsion in redevelop. Because when you are going to pause a scene, pause and start a new scene, you have to start a new scene also at the same time. You can't just pause the scene and stay there, right? So we have to create a new scene to display that message. So just go to your project manager and create a new scene and close it. First we will rename it and rename it to stage 1 unlock message, and then open it. And in this we are just going to make a very simple art. No, don't add it, edit with Piskel. Resize for easy editing. And then save and apply and drag it here and drag here like this and like this and like this. And now we need some text. The text should be uh, unlock message and the size should be 100, I believe. You or you have unlocked a new stage. And bold, but the color should be different. So I want to know what color it was in main menu. So I will now go and open the title and the color 247, 203, 141. So I will now do that. Wait, 247, why is it not working? I guess I will just have to do it this way. It was working last time. I guess it's a bug or something. Okay, then I will just choose a simple color. Uh, this one looks good. Apply. You have unlocked a new stage. This message will be printed on the screen. And then choose another text and call it uh, play next stage and 60 and bold, and color should be again the same color, I guess, and type play next stage. This will be a button and then drag it here and another one, and the name should be keep playing, and this means that keep playing previous stage. Color should be the same one. Let's choose this one, bold, keep playing previous stage. I will have to do some next line. Yeah, better. Keep playing previous stage. So these are buttons, and they will behave like buttons. Now we have to add some events here. Let's add our first event. Add condition. Mouse button released, and mouse was inside the text. Mm, play next stage. And Y position. Let's hit mouse X and mouse Y for the point. When this happens, we will go to the next stage, which is stage 2 in this case. Scene. Change the scene. Change the scene. Stage 2. Stop any other pause scene? Yes. Okay. So there it is. And if the same thing happens with some other button, then click a new event and then copy these two, shift select, copy and paste, and just change this to keep playing. And when this happens, we will just stop and go back to previous scene, right? So this should work. When we unlock a new stage, this message will pop up. When we are playing stage 1 and we reach the point threshold, then we can unlock, then our new stage will be unlocked. Then we will see a message that you have unlocked a new stage, right? And then we can choose whether to play the next stage or to keep playing previous stage. And now what happens here in this stage 1, that is, we have programmed this, so it is okay. Let's leave it and come to stage 1 events, and here we will show the message, but before that we have to uh, you know change the value of the global variable points and coins, and let's do that. Value of a global variable points should be equal to the value of a scene variable, and that scene variable is scene points, right? And in coins also, value of a global variable coins should be equal to value of a scene variable, which is scene coins. Apply, okay. So now these two things will happen. So why we did that? Like, we could have just directly incremented global variables, right? But we did that so that we don't have the burden of saving these variables again and again, because we will save also, but if we save it instant in every frame, then it will be a lot of burden on the device, right? So that's why we will save these variables, global variables, to a save file, but we will do it at the end of a game, not every frame. So that's why we are updating scene variables every frame, but we will update the global variables once and save them at the same time. So that's why we are doing it, and so that's what it is. Now just show the next new scene, pause and start a new scene. A new scene is stage 1 unlock message. So this new scene will be started, and if and yeah, I have to set stage to unlock is equal to 1. That also needs to be set, because that's the main thing we are changing here. Stage 2 is being unlocked. Stage to unlock equal to 1. Yes. Okay, it has been unlocked. So this condition will not run again, because we are also checking stage to unlock equal to 0 here. But we are making stage to unlock equal to 1. So it will not be 0 anymore. So this condition will be false, and it will not keep showing us the message again and again. So that's what it is. So I believe we can now test it out. I believe we can test it out, and so let's do that. You have unlocked a new stage. So should I play next stage or should I keep playing? Keep playing. Let's see what's happened. Yep. So that it is. Game over. So now let's test it again, and this time we will select the option play next stage. Now we'll click on play next stage. Next stage is kind of wide. So yeah, in stage 2 also we have to do that, you know what, uh, bind the point text and the coin text to the scene variable instead of global variable. So just do this and remove this and choose from here scene points and double click again here and remove this and click choose from here text of a scene variable scene coins apply and ok, and we have to update the scene variable which are over here. Yeah, change the global variable, but we will change the scene variable. That's it, that's all you have to do. Just click on scene, change the scene variable, value of a scene variable. That's it, it's done. Now it's good. We have also done this, that we are updating scene variables while the scene is running, because when you will run a new scene, you will start from 0 points. Although your main points are stored in global variables, when you will play a new stage, you will start afresh from 0 points in that stage, and whatever points you collect in that stage will be added to your global variables. And so one more thing which I am going to do one minor correction, and that is instead of assigning the value of scene variables to global variables, we will just increment the global variables. So I have assigned it here, so that is wrong. We have to increment it and just convert is equal to 2 plus. That's it, that's okay. We will close this stage 1 unlock message, we don't need that, right? And so just close stage 2 also. Now I want to add one more functionality, and that is pausing. When we pause, we will be taken to a pause screen. So let's make a pause screen first. Just click on plus and rename it and call it pause screen, pause screen, and click on it. We will again have to make a screen for a black screen and some text. To do that, call it default, edit with Pascal, and for easy editing, choose rectangle tool and this, do this and save, apply, and just drag it here. And just bring it there and drag across. There it is, and add some text which says pause text 100 bold and this color, and choose game paused, game game pause, or just to do it like game pause. Just bring it here, and one more text should be continue text, choose 60 this will act as a button. And choose continue, right? And click on plus and add another one. This will be main menu text. And type go to main menu, bold, live. This one is not bold, just click on bold. Right. So that's that. And now let's program the functionality. Continue button will just take you back to your game. So it's very simple. Just click on this. Add condition, mouse and touch, button release, left button, OK. And then common condition, collision point inside object. Which object? Continue text. And which point? Cursor exposition. This default layer, default camera. And mouse cursor y position, default layer, default camera. OK. And what will happen? Stop current scene and go back to pause scene. Pause and no, stop and go back to previous scene which has been paused. Right. So that's what it will do. And go to main menu will make you go to main menu. Right. And add a warning here which will say all progress will be lost. I have to put enter here. Or should all progress not be lost? Lose. Let's not make the player lose the progress. Let's and the progress is what just the points and coins, right? So just to the global variable when we and when we go to main menu button, we will to the main menu. So just copy these two uh, conditions and click on create new condition. Don't add it, just paste, and instead of continue text choose main menu text, and just simply uh, change the scene to main menu. Yes, stop any other pause. And but how will we pause? By using escape key. So that's a good way. But in mobile phones, we will not have a keypad while we are playing the game. So we have to uh, choose a button to put a button over here to do that. And we will have to do it in both the stages. We should have done it before duplicating the stage, but now we have to do it manually. So it's not very difficult. So let's do it. Click on add a new object here and sprite. So pause button, add animation, and that is default. Edit with pixel size for easy editing. Make a circle and make it white and just drag this circle and then paint it in and make a nice P here with some dark color and make it with the stroke tool. Now this means pause. Wow. Right. So just color it in pause. I think I should add one more line here or maybe one more line here. Save. But wait, I have to change the size. pause button should be here somewhere, right? Yep, that's where it should be. And when we press the pause button, it should just pause the scene, save the scene points and scene coins to global variable, and then take us to the pause screen. So let's add that action at the very end. Add condition, again mouse cursor, left button, and add condition if it was inside the object, which object, pause button, and the mouse cursor X position. Default layer, oh no, spawn layer, I believe default layer, and mouse cursor default layer, default camera. And what will happen? These two actions will happen. So just to copy them, copy and here paste them, and one more action will happen, that is pause and start a new scene. Pause and start a new scene. A new scene is pause screen, right? So now we should be able to pause. And let's, before testing, let's do that in second stage also. And we have to make another sprite for it. So add a new object, call it pause button, add animation, call it default, edit, don't edit with scale, just add the one we made. It must be somewhere here. Pause, there it is, the bigger one, just add it, apply, and then drag it here. So there it is, it's looking good. Now let's edit the event. Click on plus, again the same thing, mouse button, release, left button, and now if the mouse was inside the object or not. Pause button is the object, and mouse cursor, mouse X position, this is good, and then mouse cursor, mouse Y position, which is good, apply, and click on OK. That should happen. And now we have to save the points which were made here to the global variable. But there is one thing that is uh, not good. You know, this event, the stage unlock event, will only happen once, but the pause event can happen again and again. So the player can just keep pressing pause, keep coming back to the stage, and their points will keep getting added to the global variables. So in this case, when the player is pausing, uh, I think we should not add the points, right? So let's not do that. And now at this point, I think we will also need a temporary points and temporary coins variable in the global variable, just to take care of this situation. So let's add it and add global variables, add two variables, temporary temp points, which is 0, and temp coins, which is again 0, apply. And now in this part, just assign temp points to the scene points, and just assign temp coins, assign it to the scene coins, don't add it, assign it. So we have temporarily stored the scene points and scene coins in a temporary variable. And from the pause screen, if the user will exit the game, go to main menu, then the temp points will be added to the global variable points. And if they decide to go back and play the game, then these temp points will be flushed out, right? So that's what should happen. So let's go to pause screen, but first let me copy these so that I can paste them in the stage 2. So just paste actions, that's good. And here if I continue, these temp points and temp points should be flushed, although it's not necessary, but just flush them, just put them as 0, assign 0 to them, right? And flush this to uh, points 0. So we flush them out. And if the player wants to go to main menu, yes, then we will add these points to the global variable points and coins, because we don't want the player to lose their progress when they go to main menu. Although that's not what happens in this game, but we will make it happen. Points plus global variable temp points, apply. Okay. And now again points plus global variable temp points. Oh, temp coins, apply. Okay. So now it should work and should take care of the points and coins also, and it should happen from both the stages, the pausing, that is this bigger in size? Not really, but it looks like it's bigger. Okay, so that's good, that's looking good. And now let's test it out, test the pause button out. So one thing that was happening was that when I am going back and then uh, the ghosts are not coming. So why is that happening? They should come because their values are not being changed. But maybe uh, hmm, they should appear, but they are not. We have to take care of this bug. But first let's test the pause button from the second stage. Even if I scene is not working as expected, I mean the ghosts are not coming. So what could be causing this? I think a global variable may be causing that, and that variable is not being reset. I believe that's what's happening, and I think that variable is number of ghosts on screen, right? This is the variable that is causing the problem, I believe, right? And let's reset this variable to 0 every time the scene starts at the beginning of scene. So add a condition, and it must be at the bottom, bring it to the top. And just click on add a condition scene at the beginning of the scene. Just do this. The global variables number of ghosts on screen, right? We have to put it to 0. Number of ghosts on screen is equal to 0. Now we should do that same thing in stage 2 also. So click on a new event and then drag it all the way here, and click on at the beginning of the scene, and then do this global variables value global variable uh, number of ghosts on screen is equal to 0. I hope now it works. Let's try if it does or not. So yeah, it is working. So we have fixed that bug, I believe. So there may be other bugs maybe, but right now we have fixed whatever we have found, right? So and yeah, also pause the screen, and yeah, so that's I think that will be good enough. And so there is one more thing which I want to do here, fix it. You can see that the ghost spawn timer is being reset. It is being reset every frame. Every frame it is being reset. But that's not what we want. We just want to reset it when the ghost spawn timer is greater than 5 seconds. But it's reset every frame. So just cut it and paste it at the beginning of the scene. This should only happen at the beginning of the scene, and so should this one. Ignore default controls. These three actions should only happen at the beginning of the scene, and these three actions should happen every frame. So do the same for the second stage also. Just cut these two, shift select, cut, and then just paste. That's one more bug taken care of. Let's test it. Now we'll pause and go back to main menu. Now I will play next stage. No, keep playing previous stage. Go to main start. See that my area 2 is log. Area 2 just to test it's working. Health is also uh, being reset back to 0, which should not be the case. Let's fix that. Again, we will have to make a scene variable health, I guess, or not, or just set a health to, I mean, maximum health. We need a variable called maximum health. So add max health max health, call it and put it 100. Apply. And at the beginning of the scene, set the global variable health to max health. Global variable health to max health, max health. And then copy this and paste it in stage 2 also. And now, when the game over screen comes, then which comes here, we also have to create a text object that lets us restart the game or go to main menu. We will just make us go to main menu, make it go to main menu, right? And without I guess yeah, it will make us go to main menu, that's it. And it will save our points to the global variables also. So just create a new text, I guess. Text main menu text 60, and then do this, go to main menu board, and let's see the position where it should be. Around here, around here. What is this? 331 1066. I believe it will be down here. Or we can just do this. You know what? Just tell the player to press on the pause button. That's all. How do we do that? We can do it very easily. And just create, you have created this, call it end text. Press pause to end, right? And it will show here 315 cross 1179, 315 cross 1179. We have to do this right here. And objects, create an object and text 315 cross 1179 and spawn layer. It will just be created, nothing else. It will not do anything else. And then we have to create the same thing. Let's test it out first. Wow. So we have to change the y value a little bit. 1171140 should be good. So that should be good. We will test it out tomorrow, I guess. And today we have to do the same for stage 2. So add a text and call it end text. End text, and give it 60 size. Give it a color, this one, and call it press pause pause to end. Make it bold, and that's it. And then just copy this function from stage 1. Copy and go to stage 2 events wherever we are doing the game thing, and that is happening here. And but we are not checking the I mean has died, right? And here we are checking the has died. Let's do that check also. Add condition global variables has died is equal to 1, then this will be displayed, and has died will be converted to 2 so that it does not get displayed again. Has died equal to 2, right? And then just paste the action. So it's done for stage 2 also, and it will work. So that's what we were doing in this also, stage 1. Has died, uh, check, we should check has died is equal to 1 or not, and then set it to 2, and then the same thing will be done in stage 2, right? So it will work. So today we have fixed a lot of bugs in the game, and we have added a pause screen. So I think that should be good for today. And if you are enjoying this stream, then consider joining me tomorrow as well. Thank you for watching.